Chris McDonough from Rural Solutions SA demonstrates how to identify the root disease Rhizoctonia and how to manage your paddocks to minimise its effects.
The project was designed looking at paddocks. First of all, in 2010 we had 2 pasture paddocks. One was a really good medic pasture. It had about 25% barley grass in it, so we divided that up with the farmer equipment. So half was spray topped and the other half was grass removed. We followed the Rhizoctonia levels right through to seeding time in May. We actually found that generally the area that was grass removed had low levels of inoculum in the soil, and the areas that was only spray topped had medium levels of inoculum in the soil. So there was quite a difference there, and very consistent difference between all the plots that we did. But it was also interesting that the farmer actually missed spraying out some of that grass that had germinated in February in a few areas, and we actually tested those areas as well and found that those areas were sky high with Rhizoctonia. The thing with Rhizoctonia is that it can be sitting in the soil, but once the season starts, we get some rainfall, the soil gets a bit cooler in autumn, then it really starts to grow out from its spores and into, and if it can latch on to anything growing then it will start to build up and can build up quite rapidly. Some of the ways that farmers can actually find out if they've got Rhizoctonia, obviously if you go out into a crop situation like this where you see poorer patches, dig down, you wash the roots out in some water, have a close look, and there's plenty of guides around where you can tell, okay, well that's clearly Rhizoctonia, or you might have other issues like CCN or things that you can identify. Here's some examples in a fairly poor plant of classic Rhizoctonia spear tipping, and certainly you can see that, and even up here closer, and right through to some of this plant here, which is a more mature plant, and this is more of the I guess some of the secondary roots which are obviously shortened and been affected. The other thing that's really good is the root disease testing service, which you can do. That allows you to then get an idea of a whole lot of diseases, what the inoculum is in the soil going into that cropping season, and whether those levels are a high enough risk that you need to actually do something to manage that. If you came back with a high level, obviously keeping that that ground volunteer weed free is very, very important, because that can certainly inhibit the build-up of Rhizoctonia. Things like the nutrition you use in your crop, maybe using more zinc, which helps strengthen cell walls in the seedlings. Things like group B herbicides, which again can impact on early crop growth and affect roots. Anything that's going to impact badly on the roots is going to advantage Rhizoctonia. The root disease test gives you an idea of what's inoculum in the soil, but your management from there can have a big impact on whether that becomes a big issue in your crop or not.